Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Flip That Sample Tuesday time for September 2021. This month I got the sample early. Thanks Beats for getting it out early. So I have time to put a breakdown together to show you what I did. I'm also pretty darn happy with how this flip turned out. I'll put chapters in the video so you can skip straight to the flip. I'll show you how I made the song, and I'm also going to talk a little bit about how I use the Digitakt as probably the most overpriced knobs controller for the black box in order to get what I wanted, sort of performance-wise, what I wanted to be able to do that I couldn't do with the black box on its own. I'll also mention black box got new firmware last week. I have not updated it yet because I wanted to get this done first, and I just wasn't interested in thinking about what the firmware update might do to my project. So as soon as this goes up, I will update the firmware. If you guys are interested in seeing how I set the Digitakt up as a controller for the black box, leave me some comments and let me know, and I'll explain it. You know, in technical detail at a low level. Otherwise, I'm just going to show you what it's doing. So I think that's all of our housekeeping out of the way. So I'll jump into the breakdown. We're already listening. This is the sample. It's a C minor sample at 85 BPM. I really like this sample. This made me want to participate this month. So the first thing I did, stop this guy. The first thing I did was chop it, and you can see it is sliced 30 ways. So what I do? I'm going to raise the volume here a little. And from here, there was a lot of experimenting. But I found there's some of these chords tucked in here that I felt were very tense, and I wanted to play with those. So what I ultimately came up with is this. All right, you're going to hear that plenty. What's really nice about this sample and the way that the chops worked is that there's a nice bass note. There's that upright bass in there. So I didn't compose a bass line at all for this, which is unusual for me because of my bass playing roots. But it was also kind of liberating because I didn't have to think about it. And I've also been thinking a lot about trying to be more simple because my work is very busy, and I end up sending people stuff to listen to and they say, can you slow that down? It's just too busy. So this was really nice for me. I enjoyed that. So the first thing I did with after rearranging the chop was to resample it because I wanted to go lo-fi. So I did resample it, and I used the granular features on the black box to put some like wow and flutter in there. And let's see, you can see what the settings are. This is very few grains, sort of slowly bouncing around in not too great a spread. All right, and so, you know, I've got that on a loop. It sort of sets the stage all by itself. It's very, very thin, very wobbly, but then we bring in this. And we get more low end, and it feels kind of complete. So with that, we went on to drums. Actually, I think I probably did the drums before it occurred to me to resample the chop. But the drums right here, I have two. And I have them sequenced to play together. But I eventually, this is C. This is my third crack at this. If we take it all the way ahead, I eventually resampled those together. I messed around with the filter a little. And so in terms of the bass drum for this, we have this. And then there's a little bit of snare and rim. And then the hi-hat, I said my stuff is too busy. The hi-hat's a little busy, but I think it fits really well. Listen to how it plays off the silence. Okay, so that's sort of the main theme for the song. Then I have these vocal chops, and I have this B section, and that's where the Digitakt comes into play. So I have right here is a chord progression that I set up in C minor to go that I played on the synth. I probably layered that, I don't know, 3 or 4 different times with some different patches, and that eventually got us, I think, this. Now let's look at the Digitakt here. I've got volume and I've got filter. So I can make this into kind of a riser while I still have access to my sequences switchboard. Otherwise, without these knobs, I would have to go from here down to my blended rhythm and go to this page to set up the filter or the level to change it, and then quickly jump back to sequences and then come back here and then go here. So I don't have another knobs controller, so I have this knobs controller. So I can adjust the volume and the filter, which I wanted to do because in this B section I have another set of drums here. It's a tighter pattern. This is only, a 4-bar drum pattern, whereas the A section is a 1-bar drum pattern. And then I'm going to bring in some vocal chops. I want to point out the voice sounds a little like me, but I assure you it is not me. And similarly, I set up another couple of knobs to manage the volume and the filter on that, because the guy telling the story, for whatever reason, I did normalize it on the computer and boost the volume a little, but as he's telling the story, the volume of his voice keeps going down and down and down, and I needed to keep raising it in order to have it be consistent with this section, and I wasn't going to pull it back out, and I didn't feel like resampling it and gain staging it or whatever you call it. I just wanted to adjust it on the fly, so that's what I do here. So check this out.
Humps of the Swan, a pure white swan. Humps is very wise.
And I came over here.
They say if you mix pure milk and then dirty water together in a bowl and you give it to the swan will be able to just drink the milk and leave the dirty water behind, right? They can tell that razor thin truth from untruth,
Darkness from light.
Things of that nature. And so that's a good skill for all of us to have, right?
Okay, so that's just a quick look at why the Digitakt is here. Why I didn't use it at all really on this project, I don't know. Other than that, but it came in handy for this purpose. So the Digitakt as a knobs controller for the black box. Again, hit me up if you want to see how that setup works. It's not tough at all. What else do I have here to show you? I think that's pretty much it, guys. There's a couple other little, rhythmic touches, just to try to make it, just for build-ups, for atmosphere near the end. But other than that, there's basically two main drum parts, two parts to the song, so a little bit of vocals.
That reeds are thin, truth from untruth. That reeds are thin.
A little bit of vocal chops, and then again, I took, our original sample and chopped it my own way.
That reeds are thin, truth from untruth.
So now you can hear the song. And I hope you like it. Leave me some comments. Let me know what you think. If you don't like it, let me know too. Just be nice, would you? I'm fragile. Take your feedback very seriously. Hope everybody's having a good everybody's doing well. Hope you're doing well. So now I'm going to go to the song. Take it easy.
Say, okay, there's something off there. That reeds are thin, truth from untruth. They can tell darkness from light, right? That reeds are thin, truth from untruth. They can tell darkness from light, right? Humps of the Swan. A pure white swan. Humps is very wise, right? They say if you mix pure milk and dirty water together in a bowl and you give it to the swan will be able to just drink the milk and leave the dirty water behind, right? They can tell that reeds are thin, truth from untruth, darkness from light, things of that nature. So that's a good skill for all of us to have, right? that razor thin truth from untruth. They can tell darkness from light, right? Say, okay, there's something off there. They can tell darkness from light, right? That razor thin truth from untruth. Say, okay, there's something off there.